Keeping our yards looking good in this Arizona heat is already dangerous enough. Let's not add even more risk. Since June is National Safety Month, it is a good time to remind homeowners to make sure they are taking every precaution to keep themselves, their kids, and their pets safe at home this summer. So landscape industry professional Roger Phelps is here with today to discuss the top 3 outdoor safety priorities for homeowners this season. But Roger, before we get to those top 3 priorities, I actually want to kind of talk about what are some of the most common kind of injuries that people are getting into because of yard work.
You know, it's great. We all love our yards and we want to take care of it. But, you know, if we take simple precautions, we can avoid the most common ones. What we see mostly is simple things like sunburn, becoming dehydrated, maybe a back injury from improperly lifting a bag of mulch. But there are some just simple things like that that you can do to avoid getting injured when you're taking care of your yard. But as we like to say, you break it down into 3 areas. Take care of yourself, take care of your equipment, and be aware of your surroundings.
Okay, so we have those top 3 priorities. Are those the top 3 that we're kind of talking about today?
Absolutely. You know, when you talk about taking care of yourself, we're talking about wearing the proper clothing, long sleeves, boots, wearing all the proper protective that's required by your instruction manual, such as hearing protection, eye protection. If you happen to be using something like a chainsaw, protective chaps and a helmet system. Just by wearing those types of clothing and protective, you can avoid some of the most common injuries when operating a piece of power equipment.
Well, like you said, a lot of this is just being prepared. So what are some other tips that you have for us? And maybe is there some of these tasks that we should really be just leaving to the professionals?
Absolutely. I think the most common thing I'd tell folks is take care of your equipment. Make sure that it's been properly serviced and that all of the safety features on that piece of equipment are operational before you start using it. And then, of course, be aware of your surroundings. So for instance, if you are going to mow a lawn or start using a trimmer or anything along those lines, let's make sure that it's free of debris that could kick up. And like you said, there are definitely tasks that are best left to a professional. My friend is an arborist. He says anytime my feet leave the ground to do the job, it's time to call a professional. And if you're just not feeling secure or you don't feel like you have the ability to do it, call a pro.
Call a pro. That's a good rule of thumb. Now, I know you have so many tips for us today. We're learning, you know, to be prepared with our safety gear to make sure, especially out here in Arizona, we're keeping our body, you know, covered so we're not getting sunburned. But is there even somewhere where we can go to get more information, more tips, and kind of, like you said, where we should draw that line on when a professional should jump in?
Great point. Yeah, there's a great resource online right now called lawnsafety.com. Has lots of tips, lots of advice, links to things like the National Association of Landscape Professionals, where you can actually find a pro in your area using their tool. So lawnsafety.com is a great resource.
Well, we definitely want still our lawns and our yards to look beautiful. We just have to make sure that we're keeping everybody safe. Roger, is there anything else you have for us today? Any last tips before I let you go?
Well, you know, as we like to say, you know, be aware of your surroundings. There are plants that may be poisonous to your pets, and something as simple as when you're putting down fertilizer, just follow the instructions. Same thing with your equipment. Always refer back to your instruction manual. It's a great place to know exactly how to use your equipment properly, and a lot of good safety tips there as well.
Well, the yard you're in looks beautiful, so we know that you know what you're doing. So, Roger, thank you so much again for stopping in with us.
Thank you again.
Absolutely. Don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend. We'll be right back.